Imagine if I told you that one company has become so important that almost every major AI product you use today depends on it. ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, Midjourney, even the AI models being built by Meta, Microsoft, Amazon and OpenAI, behind all of them, there's a very good chance you'll find NVIDIA. And here's the surprising part. NVIDIA wasn't built to power artificial intelligence. It was built to make video games look better. So how did a gaming chip company become the backbone of AI revolution? And perhaps, even bigger question, could another NVIDIA ever be built? To understand NVIDIA today, we have to go back to 1993. Three engineers, Jensen Huang, Chris Malachowski, and Curtis Priem, started a company with one goal: build better graphics for computers. At the end, nobody was talking about artificial intelligence. The internet itself was still in its early years. Gaming was the opportunity. The founders believed computers needed a completely different type of processor to handle graphics. The belief led to one of the most important inventions in modern computing, the GPU, a graphics processing unit. Unlike a traditional CPU, which processes one task after another, a GPU can perform thousands of calculations simultaneously. Originally, that meant smoother games and realistic graphics. Years later, it turned out those same chips were perfect for training artificial intelligence. Sometimes, the world's biggest companies aren't built by predicting the future. They are built by accidentally being ready for it. Most people think NVIDIA became successful because it built faster processors. That's only half the story. Its biggest breakthrough wasn't hardware, it was software. In 2006, NVIDIA launched something called CUDA. Now that doesn't sound exciting. But CUDA allowed programmers to use NVIDIA's GPUs for far more than just gaming. Scientists began using them for research. Universities used them for simulations. Researchers used them to train early machine learning models. And when artificial intelligence exploded years later, developers already knew how to build on NVIDIA's platform. That's an advantage competitors are still trying to catch up with. Today, millions of developers build on CUDA, making it one of NVIDIA's biggest competitive advantages, not just the chips themselves. Then came 2012, a breakthrough AI model called AlexNet changed everything. It won the prestigious ImageNet competition by a massive margin. But there was another story happening behind the scenes. AlexNet was trained using NVIDIA GPUs. That moment convinced researchers around the world that GPUs weren't just graphic processors anymore. They were AI processors. As companies like OpenAI, Google, Anthropic, and Meta pushed the limits of artificial intelligence, they all needed one thing: more computing power. And NVIDIA happened to be selling exactly that. Today, saying NVIDIA sells chips is like saying Apple sells phones. Technically true, but far from the whole picture. NVIDIA now builds an entire AI ecosystem. It designs AI GPUs like Blackwell, it develops CPUs such as Grace, it provides networking technology after acquiring Mellanox, it builds AI supercomputers, it offers AI software platforms, developer tools, digital twin platforms through Omniverse, enterprise AI solution, even robotics and autonomous driving technologies. In other words, NVIDIA doesn't just sell hardware, it sells the infrastructure that powers artificial intelligence. That's why switching away from NVIDIA isn't as simple as buying another chip. Companies would have to leave behind an entire system. And the numbers reflect that transformation. NVIDIA is no longer just one of the world's largest semiconductor companies. It has become one of the world's most valuable listed companies with a market capitalization measured in the trillions of dollars. Its data center business, driven by AI infrastructure, has overtaken gaming as its primary growth engine. For years, gaming defined NVIDIA, but today, AI defines NVIDIA. And perhaps more importantly, the future of AI increasingly depends on NVIDIA. What's interesting is that NVIDIA isn't only building products, it's also investing in the future. Over the years, it has expanded through strategic acquisitions like Mellanox for high-speed networking, Run AI for AI workload orchestration, Dekai for AI model optimization, and OmniML for edge AI. At the same time, its NVIDIA Inception program has supported thousands of AI startups around the world, helping founders build on NVIDIA's technology stack. It's a strategy that's easy to miss. Instead of waiting for the AI industry to grow, NVIDIA has actively helped build it. Now comes another question. If AI is becoming so important, Why hasn't India produced its own NVIDIA? The answer isn't a lack of talent. India has some of the world's best semiconductor engineers. Many of them already work at companies like NVIDIA, AMD, Intel, and Qualcomm. The challenge is different. Building a company like NVIDIA requires decades of patient research, billions of dollars in investment, and an ecosystem that combines chip design, software, advanced manufacturing, and world-class developer tools. India has traditionally been stronger in software services and IT outsourcing than in deep tech semiconductor products. And unlike software startups, chip companies often spend years, sometimes decades, before seeing significant returns. That's a difficult proposition for most investors. India is making progress through semiconductor incentives, new manufacturing projects, and a growing AI ecosystem. Companies like Tata Electronics, Keynes Technology, Moschip, and others are strengthening different parts of the value chain. But building the next NVIDIA isn't about creating one great chip. It's about creating an ecosystem that the world cannot build AI without. NVIDIA didn't become the world's most important AI company overnight. It spent more than 30 years solving difficult engineering problems before artificial intelligence became the biggest technology wave of our generation. That's perhaps the biggest lesson from its story. The companies that shape the future are often built long before the future arrives. India already has the engineering talent. It has ambitious entrepreneurs. It has policy support that's stronger than ever before. What it needs now is patient capital, long-term research, and founders willing to build for decades, not just funding cycles. Because the next NVIDIA won't be created in a single breakthrough. It will be built one difficult decision at a time. And if history has taught us anything, it's that the companies that change the world usually start by solving a problem that nobody else thinks it's important, until suddenly everyone does.